Good morning, everybody. Ori Spado here with Stories with Ori. And today I have a very special guest. I got a gentleman, and wait till you hear where he came from, what he became, how he did it. But as you know, I like people who are helping make the world a better place and help you people with inspirational and motivational things. And this gentleman's name is Dr. Slava. Please meet Dr. Slava. Good morning, Doctor. How
Good
are
morning.
you?
Good morning. Thank
All
God.
right.
Thank God. It's a pleasure to be here. It's so happy to be here. It's a pleasure to be here, and you're always an inspiration to me. So I'm happy to come out and talk to you any day of the week.
Well, you know, Doctor, we met through a very dear friend of ours, Majana. I always say her name wrong. But, you know, I've been following you on, well, we met, we did have dinner, but I've been following you on Instagram.
Yeah.
And you're a very motivational and inspirational gentleman
Thank you.
trying to help people.
Thank you.
And, you know, for somebody coming, and folks, I'm going to let the doctor tell you, but he comes from Kiev, Ukraine. It's where he was born. How he came to this country with his parents, with nothing. And today, what he's become. Doctor, please tell the people something. How all this happened? What motivated you? What created your mindset to become who you are today?
So as a little kid, you're just dragged, all over the place. Your parents take you wherever they take you. So, at the time, 4.5 years old, I didn't know what was exactly happening, where we were going, but we came from a communist nation. We came from a communist country, and we didn't have much. Like, everybody's equally poor. So, we left that country to come to a better place. We traveled through Austria. My little brother was born, so my mom was really pregnant when we left, so we had him. And from there, we traveled to Italy. We were in Italy, and that's the common immigration. So, we went to Italy, and then from there, we went through Canada for some reason, stayed there for a little bit, and came to the United States. I saw my parents, my grandparents, everybody struggle. Everybody had to work. Whatever they were in Russia at that time, it was all Russia. They worked hard and they had multiple jobs and everybody worked, everybody did things. And I saw them hustle and bustle and do things and constantly working, trying to figure things out. So as I went through seeing them growing up, working hard, they were always doing things. So that instilled upon me to do things. I remember being in school, I worked hard, I played, I had friends and we rode bikes and we walked around and we played sports and we did things. And I always kind of was an athlete. I worked hard. And then through school, I remember, in high school, friends would tell me, you're poor. Your family's not wealthy. You're not going to amount to much. You're not going to go to school. You're not going to be anything. And I had always aspirations of being a doctor, some sort. I didn't know at the time what I was going to be, but I was always going to be a part-time basketball player also, because
Basketball?
yeah, part-time basketball player and a part-time doctor. I quickly figured out that basketball was not going to be my thing. I wasn't fast enough or strong enough or tall enough or anything like that. So, I figured out basketball was not going to be my thing. Then, as I worked hard through school, I said, not only am I going to go to college and I'm going to prove everybody wrong, including my friends, and my family didn't know what I was going to become. So I started school and I got an associate's degree. And then I got a bachelor's degree in sports medicine. Then I got a master's degree in sports medicine. And I kept going and going. And people are now starting to take notice. Like, well, this guy, he's taking a lot of classes. I transferred several times because I moved around. I lost credits. And then, I gained them back because I took more classes. So I was always working hard, just like my parents and my grandparents did. That instilled upon me the process of anything could happen. If they could come to this country with little kids and the shirts on their back, with all these opportunities, resources in this country, I could go to school and work hard and do things. And I hustled and bustled and I did things. I met people. And next thing you know, as I went through my degrees, I had an ability to get my doctorate in physical therapy. So I went and did that. And next thing you know, I was 9 years of school, graduated. I had every degree imaginable. I picked up licenses and things along the way with specialties, with sports medicine and doing a lot of different things to help the body. So as I picked things up and I started to see people and I started to work on people, I said, you know what? This isn't good enough. I don't want to just work for somebody. Next thing you know, I said, you know what? I'm going to open my own practice. So all that education, all those degrees, all that hard work, I said, you know what? I'm not going to make somebody else rich. I'm going to go for myself. I opened one little clinic under the roof of some other medical practitioners, and they weren't very nice, but it's okay. I did my own thing as I built, and you know, I outgrew that practice in 6 months. So we had to get a bigger place. And next thing you know, we're here on Sunset, not too far from here, you know, on the edge of Beverly Hills in a big medical high-rise, and we built a huge facility there.
Were on your own?
Yeah, on my own. Yeah. So it was great. All that hard work and everything started to pay off. And next thing I know, I'm opening a second clinic. Next thing I know, I'm opening a third clinic. Next thing I know, we have a fourth clinic now. So the hard work, perseverance, the education, it all comes together. Now, the cool thing is meeting great people like McGenna and yourself. You know, I always gravitate towards smart people, successful people. It's like a magnet, right?
Yeah.
So that wasn't the clinics and everything. That's great. Helping people, that was fantastic. And
now, in your clinics, explain exactly what you do in clinics.
So, you know, I have 10 doctors working for me, and I have probably 70 plus employees. Not everybody's full time, but you know, they can make me money. I don't have to walk in if I don't want to. At this point, with all my other business ventures and things like that, I want to see patients. I want to help people. So I come into the clinic every day to educate and help. I actually treat patients for back pain, neck pain, shoulder pain, knee pain, ankle pain. I do lymphatic drainage, so I take the lymph and the fluid in the body, and I can redirect it to places so it's not stuck in one place.
Really?
I also do women's health. I'm a women's health provider, so I do pelvic floor and things like that, which not too many males or even females out there right now doing pelvic floor, but we do gynecological work.
Pelvic
floor.
Pelvic.
Yes. So gynecological work. So women that have disorders of the pelvis and things like that.
Okay.
So the jaw, I treat balance disorders. Everything you possibly think of, I've picked up along the way and did postgraduate work on, and started to see patients of all kinds of varieties because I want to. So I see a good amount of patients because I want to. It's a lot easier to see patients I want to see patients than have to see patients for a paycheck.
Right.
So my patients are not
how do
paycheck.
people find you?
I mean, everywhere. Instagram, Facebook. Dr. Slava is, growing and getting everywhere. So Twitters and Instagrams, LinkedIn. On the internet, you could Google me, you could find me, and you find Back to Health Physical Therapy is the name of the company.
Yeah. Let everybody know how they could find you. Okay, on Instagram. All they got to do is just put Dr. Slava
Shut. Yes.
Dr. Slava Shut. Just put it in Google, and he's going to come up.
Yeah.
Anybody wants to find him. And follow him across social media, because on a daily basis, the doctor is there dedicating his time to try to help you become a better person. So you should listen to this gentleman. Thank you, doctor. Now, I noticed that you and your family moved to Los Angeles, but you went to high school in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
How that happened?
So my parents had a business here. It was a Russian restaurant. And for whatever reason, that didn't go so well. It was on the top floor of the Beverly Center. It was a popular place in the 80s. and it closed. Like, for whatever happened, rent was high, maybe, I'm not sure. A lot of things happened.
Yeah.
And we lost a lot of money in that business. So my parents, whatever they had, they said, you know what? Las Vegas is a growing community. Las Vegas, as things are happening now, full circle, many years later, people from California are moving to Nevada and some other places, Florida, right. Texas, So Las Vegas at the time was growing. The late 80s, Las Vegas was booming, but the land was cheap. We got a house, I remember, I think, don't quote me completely, but I think we got a 5-bedroom house for like 150 grand. I mean, that's absurd. Like, you couldn't get like a studio apartment here for 150 grand.
Right.
So it was great. So my parents said, okay, let's start over. They opened a little restaurant, a Russian restaurant there in Las Vegas. I went to high school there, finished high school there. So it was cool. Like, I mean, what did I know? Like, again, we moved around so much. But what the cool thing about moving around so much is that when you're the new kid in class and you're a little kid named Slava, it becomes a little rough. Slava, the new kid in class, and I was a little guy. I was not this size at that time. So it was interesting. But what that did was the new introductions constantly to new friends and new people. Now I can speak to anybody. So I can walk in and anybody hear me speak, I'm there. I'm yours.
Man. And then from Las Vegas, you come back to Los Angeles.
It was a roundabout way. So from Las Vegas, I was getting in a little bit of trouble. I was a single guy, a little crazy, a little wild.
A lot of girls.
A lot of girls. So we were having a lot of fun, a little too much fun. So my dad, who lived on the East Coast, and my mom is on the West Coast, they got separated when I was young. So I was in Philadelphia all the time. I would go there every summer. So my dad said, you know what are you doing messing around over there in Vegas? Why don't you come to school out here full time and start getting your life in order? And I thought that was a good idea. Even though I was having a great time, Vegas is a fun place. I went to the East Coast to start my school career because I said, I'm not going anywhere. Having fun. I graduated high school. It's like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to spin my wheels. I'm going to end up like a lot of the losers there, not doing anything. So I said, you know what? Great idea. I'm going to the East Coast. I went to Philadelphia. And between Philadelphia and New York, I did all my clinical residencies and all my schooling on the East Coast. And then I moved to Arizona for a little bit. In Arizona, I came back to California to visit my now business partner, and eventually my friends introduced me to my amazing, beautiful wife. And she said, I'm not going out there, you coming back out here. So here I am back in Los Angeles, back to my roots because of my wife.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've been in a lot of places. I've learned a lot of different cultures. I've been around a lot of different regions. LA right now is my home, and I've been back in LA for 18 years.
Beautiful. Doctor, I had to ask you this question, as you were born in the Ukraine, and I guess it was totally different back then than it is now. What do you think of what's happening there now?
Well, I'm not going to get political, but I will get a little political. It's a problem. When you're a nation that's a poor nation and a corrupt nation, and you have corrupt leaders, you will get into bed with anybody to kind of save yourself.
Right.
So as I believe one side has a maniac, the other side is not as pure as people want to think. There's a lot of corruption and a lot of U.S. ties, a lot of U.S. connections with Ukraine. Obviously, Putin and America, that's not going to go well. There's a lot of resources there with oil and the different things. So there's a lot of politics at play here. This is not a simple case of one maniac getting up in the morning and just saying, I just want to attack. It's not so simple. And anybody that believes that, you're kind of a little foolish. It's not a madman and then everybody else is a good guy. There's a lot of at play in both sides, in both politically, and I think, America's heavily involved in that, especially this administration.
Would you say that America's involved also to the extent that they might have created this?
Yes, I absolutely believe they created this.
That's what I feel.
Yeah. So they're strongly involved. They are definitely involved in creating this. And when you stir the pot and then pretend you're not in it, you know,
Yeah.
people are to know. Not everybody's blind, and not everybody's into this media where, you know, majority of the media is one-sided in one direction. You know, if you're sipping the Kool-Aid completely, I feel bad for you.
Well, I try not to discuss politics myself, okay, because it's a losing battle,
Yeah.
no matter what side you're on. So it's and particularly being in here in Hollywood, all right. But I do recognize these things, and you know, I try to explain to people, be careful who you're voting for.
Yeah.
But yet they continuously vote for the same people.
Well, we're creatures of habit. You find that with exercise, with health, with well-being. Even though things that don't serve you, like alcohol, smoking, junk food, you know what I'm saying? We know it's bad, right? But we still do it, right? Because it's easy, it's comfortable, it's habit. So we form bad habits, we tend to follow anything and anybody. So I tell people, sometimes you got to do the hard thing, which is think, do, work. And people want comfort. At the same time, comfort's not going to get you anywhere. Hard work, dedication, new habits, new ways of doing things, that's the meaning of life.
Now, you are an extremely multitasked individual. You're born in November. What day?
30th.
30th. So you're a Sagittarian.
Yes, sir.
That's the same as me. When I saw November, I said, this guy's a Sagittarian. All right? Because you see how multitask you are. You do more than one thing. And you created really something that's awesome, what you did, coming from where you are. It's a true, what I call rags to riches situation. You're also involved in Hollywood.
Yes.
Now, what made you get involved in Hollywood and the production of movies?
So it's a funny story. I help people online all the time because I'm also a coach. I'm a speaker. So I help people with, I hate to use this term, but motivation. And I help people with mindset. So I coach a lot of people through a lot of different things in their life. And I had somebody ask me financial questions because I'm also in the financial field. And people, this guy, I didn't know who he was at first, but he was asking me questions and I was answering questions. And then my obvious question is, what do you do? Oh, I'm a director in movies and, you know, things like that. I'm in a production company. I'm like, okay. So I said, I don't know what possessed me. God is amazing and he sends signals to the head. And what possessed me to ask this? But I said, what is it like to invest in a Hollywood movie? And I expected a simple answer. He sent me information, literature. And I was looking at this literature, I was like, this is pretty cool. And I was looking at the numbers and the potential, right? I said, no wonder there's some big players in Hollywood. There's some potential here to have movies and all that kind of stuff. So he invited me down to the production company. I met the owners of the production company and all the producers, stuff like that, and they had a movie. Can I plug the movie?
Go ahead, absolutely.
Right. So it's called Static Codes. It's in a production company that's called Los Angeles. And Static Codes is a sci-fi movie. And what do I know about sci-fi? You know, but I liked it. They told me the script and things like that. And they said it's about to launch, and we need X amount of money to get this thing going. How would you feel about investing in a Hollywood movie? I said, great, I'm in. And as a joke, I said, well, wouldn't it be good if I funded this thing and it's my movie, you know, things like that, if I could be in it? They said, of course, we have a role for you. So that was cute, and it was started as a joke, but that joke turned into a business transaction. I funded the movie, and now it's everywhere. We released it a couple months ago only. It finally finished and released all the editing, and it's quite a process. It's pretty cool, actually.
Where can people see this?
Amazon, YouTube, you know, Static Codes. It's a good movie.
Feel free to promote anything you got. Have you written books? I'm not sure.
I've been asked to be an editor in different books. I haven't jumped on anything, but it's funny that you mentioned that. McGenna just hooked me up with somebody who wants to do a book on immigrants who have come to this country and have succeeded. So I'm about to I actually have a meeting with this guy today about the book about immigrants. McGenna is one about the female immigrants that have come to this country and succeeded. Now they're doing one on males.
Well, that'd be an awesome story. My grandparents came from this country, and the same story, hard work. This is what we used to do. The people, and I noticed today, the people that are succeeding in this country, more than the people who are born in this country, are the people that are coming from other countries and seeing what's available and the freedoms that they have to become whatever they want to be. And we have those resources in this country. So here you are, Dr. Slava, 4 rehab centers, all in Southern California.
Yep.
In the movie industry, and motivational speaker. Mindset. What the mind can conceive and believe,
right,
you can achieve.
That's right.
I'm also in that same field, and I've been motivating. I motivated a lot of salespeople to become very successful during my life. I'm not just a gangster, but I was a successful gangster. So, I am me. I am who I am. But you're an awesome guy, Doctor.
Thank you.
Now, I wanted to get back to that motivational thing. The book writing, okay, we got to talk about that there. That's an awesome book.
Yeah.
Awesome. What more can you tell me, tell my audience? What can you tell them, how they could change their lives to become better people and help us make this world a better place? Because we live now in a divided country.
Yeah.
It disgusts me what I see on television to the point that I don't even watch it anymore.
Yeah.
Who is really dividing this country? What will we become? You said something earlier, we talked about what's exactly going on in Ukraine, and people don't understand this. But, folks, there's some things that we need to ignore, and you got to get rid of all negativity in your life.
Right.
And would you agree with that, Doctor?
I agree completely. This country is one of the greatest countries ever. This society, the things that we have, the resources are unmatched. They're untapped. The people coming from other countries recognize the potential. Where they are in their countries, and you can name the country, there's many places on this earth where I would never want to live. And people have come from horrific governments, have risked their lives to come here. Yeah. And the reason they succeed is because one thing, perseverance. They said, we're never going back to that. Why? You're telling me I could come to this country, roll up my sleeves, work hard, use my brain, not just my brawn, and I could make something of myself and be the best for generations upon generations? Sign me up every day of the week. Americans, well, I don't know. I don't want to get my hands dirty. This may be too hard. Oh, there's so much competition. I don't know. Foreigners don't think that way.
What? Americans got every negativity in the book. It's like the Americans wrote the book on negativity.
Yeah.
You're asking, these folks come here, folks. They don't speak English. Like you said, they come here. They got to think. They got to do. The first thing they got to start doing is learning how to speak English.
Yeah.
Most Americans can't. I can't speak another language. I can speak Italian when I go to Italy. Try to figure this one out. I can't. Okay? As soon as I come back, my friends in Italy, they laugh at me. I can't speak it here. But I get to Italy, I can speak it and understand it. This crazy thing. But think about these people. They come here with nothing but the shirt on their back. But they see the opportunity. How many of you folks are born in this country and are not taking advantage of the opportunities that are right there in front of you?
That's right. That's right. And that's the sad part, is that there's a lot of scrutiny of what to do, how to do. You know, the foreigner doesn't do the same cost benefit analysis. They're like, the cost may be great, but the benefit is greater. The American thinks, well, the cost is too great. I don't know, the benefit may not be there.
Well, see, the cost is not the money. People relate cost with money.
Right.
The cost to the foreigner is, I'm going to work hard.
Yeah.
Okay? The cost on the other side, oh, it's going to take a lot of work to get there.
Right. How do I get it free?
Yeah.
Free. Give it.
Right.
Give me.
Give me.
How much can you give me?
Right.
What can you give me? How can I take? Where, what can I give? What can I give? How can I do? How can I provide? How can I be a servant, you know, to the people? And that comes back to you. So the mentality is completely different. It's the positive. I know I could do this. It doesn't matter about the competition. There is no competition. God guides me. I've been given the gifts, the resources, everything I could possibly have. I have everything that I need. Now go use it. And that's a different mentality. Positive. What can I do for others? And I'll be taken care of. I'm not worried about that. As opposed to, what can I get? Who can give me? Where can I take? Take. You'll never win that way. A taking mentality will never win that way. A giving mentality will win every single time.
Right. And I like to say, folks, you can continuously help people. It will come back to you tenfold. Do good. Put out positive vibes. I tell people every day. I walk in a grocery store, the drugstore. All right, I got a smile on my face. Good morning, Anna. How are you? How's the family? People don't do that.
Right.
You know, if you're nice and you're kind, people are nice back.
Yeah.
And people appreciate that there. Doctor, you're an awesome guy.
Thank you.
And, you know, we should do another one of these at some point, and because we got to do what we can, and I know we will do it, to continually try to help people make this world a better place.
Yeah, we will. There's no doubt about it. We are making an impact. The fact that you have a platform with such positivity, and I love what you said before we went on air, is it's the anti-social media.
Anti-social media.
So the positivity, the vibes, I mean, this place is awesome. I mean, the studio's cool, you're cool, this is great. I love the positivity, it's awesome.
You know, I got to tell you, when we're talking about social media, I was pulling in my driveway yesterday, and I saw in the other driveway, a few doors down, an old Lincoln Continental, same one that I had, same color, everything, might have been mine. I got out of the car, I had to take a picture of it. I posted it. Within minutes, I had 220-something views.
Wow.
But I tell people to do good. I give 15 or 20.
Yeah.
All right? But it only takes one. And it's like I said in my book, if I help one young person stay out of a life of crime, it was well worth it. I've helped several, mentored several, and that's what you and I continue to do so.
Absolutely.
And very proud and very happy to know you and call you a friend.
Amen.
Thank you, Doctor. Anything you'd like to tell the people in closing?
Listen, stay positive, stay sharp. If you need anything, you have 2 resources right here. Use them. Use the resources available to you to be positive. Use the resources available to you to have a good mindset. Positive in, positive out. You have specific places in your brain that actually contribute to taking in information, working with it, and have an output. So if it's negative coming in, negative's coming out. If you have positive coming in, positives coming out. And it's absolutely proven by science.
Thank you, Don. Folks, Google Dr. Slava Shut and follow him across social media. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.